like I'm a beer guy. I'm not a big whiskey guy or anything, but like.
Well, now we can't be friends, Eric.
That was a trip, dude. Kidding. That was a trip. They poured it right out of the spout, like I came from God.
Yeah, it's like when you go to Colorado and Coors Light's flowing from the rivers.
yeah. As is tradition.
It's not true, but
I wish it was.
This is the Said No One Ever podcast, a podcast about things you never knew you wanted to hear about. I'm your host, Martin Moore. Let's get into it.
Welcome to another episode of the Said No One Ever podcast. I am Martin Moore. Very excited. Season 4, episode 1. It's been a minute. I had to take a little time doing the setup and making sure everything was set up correctly, so the audio was good and I was in the podcast zone. But we've got a great episode today. I'm very, very excited for our guest. It's a guy I've known for a little while, and we're going to get into a conversation about something that I've heard a lot about, and I've heard the term thrown around for a few years now, and I thought this would be the perfect guy to get on the show and dive into this. He's a photographer, a videographer, a content creator, and when the storm shows up, he's better known as Bert Lauderdale. Eric, how do you say your last name?
Halvie.
Halvie. We're gonna do that, dude. Thank you so much for coming on the show and blessing it with another season.
Oh man, I'm just happy to be here.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for reaching out.
Why don't you tell the people a little bit about who you are, what it is you do?
Yeah, so I've been full-time freelance photography video for the last 5 years, since the COVID times.
Oof. That's a dirty word now.
Which, I don't know, it changed my life for the better. So
right.
I'm one of those coming out of that better than worse type of, kind of. Health-wise, I'm still working on a few things. I do still drink a lot of beer. But
happens.
yeah, it's kind of where I fell into it. But yeah, I'm a freelance photographer, videographer now full-time. Avid pizza maker. I used to work, for some reason, I worked for 4 different pizza shops.
Sure.
I was in the service industry for like 12 years, which shaped kind of my desire to get out of it.
Sure.
It's like a gang, especially the pizza world. It's like a pizza gang. You can't get out of it without, I guess, COVID happening.
Yeah.
It kind of led to this. I always had a camera on me. I always did video and photo work on the side, but it was always like maybe one day. And then COVID's like, yeah, it's today. There's no one day. It's happening. So I just grabbed my camera. I'm like, bet on myself, and it's been 5 years went by. It feels like a month, but it's been 5 years. And now I'm full time.
I love it. Isn't it interesting, just sort of like the impetus for things like that? How you get started and how you start to dabble in something that ends up being like worst case scenario, a passion, but best case scenario, a career that you can pay your bills on and pay for dinner and get drinks and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always hoped. I think it was a lot of hopefulness for it, but it was just COVID kicked my ass right in the deep end, and it's a matter of like time to swim.
Sure.
Which is kind of how I operate. Like I feel like a lot of what I do is like out of desperation, but sometimes I'm backed up into a corner and I have to do something.
Sure.
And that's where I do some of my best work, I think. And it's taken me a long time to realize that, and that goes into the whole idea of like, am I good enough, or is this worth it? Do people even care, type of thing? And there's a lot of that, which led into where I'm at now, and I'm finally in a place now, in a part of the mountain of life where I'm like, I can see some clarity. I can see there's less fog here,
Sure. Well, I really want to get into this. This episode is Imposter Syndrome. And, I really want to come at this with a benevolent and tactful approach, because imposter syndrome is something that I've never experienced or suffered from. But I know a lot of people who do experience it, including my wife, including you, obviously, because you're on this episode for it. Yep. And it's a term we've heard thrown around for a long time, but it seems like in the last 5 years or so, maybe post-COVID, that you really hear it thrown around. You hear coworkers talking about it. You hear other content creators talking about it. You see it on social media. And so I want to get into, what is imposter syndrome? Why do some people experience it, other people don't? Who experiences it? And how can we overcome it? And so if you're new to imposter syndrome and you don't know what it means, here is Google Gemini's definition. Imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where individuals doubt their accomplishments and have a persistent and often internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud, despite evidence of their competence. It's characterized by persistent belief that one is not capable or intelligent as others perceive them to be, leading them to attribute their success to external factors like luck or timing rather than their own abilities or competence. Does that check out?
Yeah, there's a lot of that makes sense to me.
For sure.
Feeling that.
So let's get into it. Describe like the first time that you felt imposter syndrome, or you felt like an imposter. Was there like a scenario where, or a time that you can trace back and point at and be like, that was sort of the moment? Or is this something that you just had all through childhood?
I mean, I feel like I can look back at like...
Sorry, that was a long question.
No, that was good. No, I just rifled through so many different memories there. I'm a middle child of 3 sons.
Hey fam, so am I.
Yeah, let's go middle children out there. We're gonna be okay. I think we're always the different ones. We got to be different. Because my brother he got straight A's, led the way, did everything by the book, killed it. And my little brother kind of took after him. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna get out of the river. I'm gonna go in the woods.
Sure.
And I've always been in the woods. I feel like in my whole in and out of the river, but always more inclined to be in the woods, metaphorically. Yeah, I don't know. I think in high school or middle school, even elementary school, I went to a German immersion school. I went to school
what is
languages.
That?
It's over on the northwest side. It's full-blown German elementary school.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, so like I was at one point in my life I was speaking better German than I was English probably.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And now it's like if I'm drunk I can speak it a little bit good. I'm a little rusty.
Sure.
I can understand it perfectly. I always know if someone's German by just how they sound. So if I'm out in public and I hear someone, I'll just be like, "Was ist dein Name? Ich kann Deutsch sprechen," and they're like, "What?"
I have no idea what you just said.
I said, "What's your name? I can speak German." Oh. Something like that. Ich habe keine Ahnung. I have no idea. This is my favorite one. But there was a lot of that because like it was a really, I don't want to say competitive, but a lot of the kids there were just awesome at everything. Like as far as like athletics, we all played soccer. It was a tight knit community. And then middle school kind of split. Half the kids went to the suburbs. The other kids went to school languages, which is also over on 84th and Burleigh. So a lot of us were together from kindergarten all the way through high school. Okay. And it was all all good. But a lot of that was like I don't know, like. Even with sports, it was just kind of like, we were always like, our school was always lower and out of the way, and like there's always these better places, better schools, better teams, better academics. I don't know, but like I think our best sports team in high school was a chess team. Like they went to
your best sports team in high school was a chess team?
Yeah, I mean our golf team won city in 2006, which is really cool.
Okay,
but like. Outside of that, like we had to share sports teams with other high schools because we were so small.
Sure.
It was like basketball, football was all shared. Soccer was shared.
Sure.
It was like 3 schools. But our chess team was apparently the bee's knees. Like went to like nationals.
Really?
Yeah. And the guy, John Zimmerman, shout out to him. He actually like still teaches it and stuff. So anyway, so I think a lot of. I'm going on a side rant about chess. I don't even play chess. But it was always like, there's always better. I always felt like I could do more. I always felt like I wasn't doing enough.
Sure. You felt like everyone was ahead of you, better than you, a little bit, more capable than you.
Yeah, I never really was good at school. Like I just kind of like, I cared more about what, I was doing stuff outside of school that was like, I tried doing pro wrestling. I tried like, I don't know, just video stuff. I had a camera on me all the time back then, so I cared more about capturing moments than I did, algebra homework or something.
Gotcha.
So that stems from that.
Okay. I mean, is there anything now that triggers your imposter syndrome?
I mean, social media is like an automatic thing, I feel, a lot of times. Like,
sure.
At least it used to be more so than recently, especially like through the late, what are they called, the 2010s, I guess.
Is that what we call it?
Are they the
20
teens? I don't know.
Boy, I couldn't tell you.
Man, they're going to find out in 100 years.
Yeah, they will.
But yeah, social media is kind of like one of those things where it's like, you subconsciously find yourself comparing,
Yes, that's a big one.
Comparing, and it's just like, I know better. I know better than that. Like a lot of people I'm comparing myself to are friends. Like people that are really rad people and like...
But that's natural.
Yeah, and I think it's just a human thing, but it stems from that, like, oh man, I should be doing this. I'm not doing that. And I catch myself like, I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing just fine. I don't need to be doing specific things.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
It really is, and it's like I even post sometimes when I'm in my little ruts, when I'm in these little like swamp areas of life. I'm like, I'll post these videos of like a majestic landscape video, and then in the tiniest text I'll put, "Don't forget to compare yourself to someone online today."
Ooh.
As like a little like, oh yeah, what are we doing?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Have you ever turned down an opportunity because you didn't feel you were ready, even though maybe your work and your resume and your experience says otherwise, but you're like, I don't know, I don't trust I just don't trust that I'm good enough, and turn down a shoot or an opportunity or an interview or something like that?
Yeah, I remember even like with wedding videos and photo shoots and stuff, which I only do. Until recently, I only did for like friends and family because I just was always afraid of like the worst case scenario. Because I had a few of those back early on. Like when I dropped out of college, I went to start doing wedding videography and stuff, and I worked with other people and teams and stuff, and like everything went wrong all the time.
Sure.
But there's been a few gigs where I'm like, oh man, like I had the equipment. I don't need to have I've never had the best equipment. I've never had like the best cameras, the best this and that. And I can do it, but there's times where I'm like, dude, I just know that's gonna be a whole thing. Like especially weddings, like 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And it's like, they want like a movie. Like nowadays, weddings are like movies.
They really are. It's not just spliced together montage of scenes. They want content. They want a documentary.
They want the whole documentary, in which I love doing is like a raw documentary. I give them a long form video and then a short form edit they can share on social media.
Sure.
But sometimes it's like over the top. It's like, man, I'm only one guy. And like I try to bring my girlfriend out to help out sometimes and get her involved in it. But even then it's like two people against the world.
Sure.
But yeah, there's been times for different clients, like lately in the last 5 years especially, where it's like I'll say yeah to mostly everything just so I can get the experience and get out there. And I love talking to people and getting to know people and just creating that relationship. But there's been times where I'm like, man, I don't know if I can bust that out.
Sure.
Even though I might be able to. Like, I try to, I don't want to leave them in a spot where they're dealing with crappy quality because I'm just spread too thin.
Gotcha.
So I just try to keep the fire lit a little bit.
No, totally. That makes sense. Have you ever achieved something big, but like still felt like you didn't deserve it? Mm-hmm. Like, was there a job or an opportunity or even if it was a personal project, something you did and got like some notoriety, success, or a big paycheck, but you felt like you didn't deserve it. You felt like in your own eyes, it wasn't as good as what other people are telling me.
Yeah, there's been.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's a couple times like working for certain clients where I'm like the third party in it, where they'll bring me on as a freelancer to shoot. Like I went to Florida one time and shot like a behind the scenes of an infomercial type of thing, and I'm just like, how am I down here? Like it's unreal to me. Like I always imagine like a whole crew for this thing. It's just
sure.
My punk ass bearded self and my camera just out there doing it. And I think it's the key thing is just to do it. But yeah, there's been a few times. Like with social media, it's weird, as you know. It's kind of like you could post something where you're just willy-nilly just posting it, and all of a sudden that grabs the attention. That just blows up.
Sure.
I mean, with the weather stuff, I've captured lightning coming out of the ground, and like back when I was on Twitter, sometimes it would blow up. But speaking of with the weather stuff, with the Bert Lauderdale stuff, I started it as an idea to kind of riff and parody news, to kind of have fun with it and edit it, put the graphics in, make it look real, and just try to have fun with it. Like my first one was a bird alert where I fell out of a tree.
Ooh.
For fall. It was like a
on video?
Yeah, it's out
there, I need to see that.
Yeah, and I had to use
that's content.
I had to use like beer boxes to fall on, and like my buddies helped me film it and all that. But then it started because of Twitter, and I was just in too deep on the gimmick and the idea that like I wanted to prove the weather people that I could hang. Mm-hmm. Like the meteorologists have all been really good to me from the different stations around here. They're all really nice.
Which is great.
They're all just really supportive, but I want to do right by them now. So I'm like, okay, now I'm out here and I want to give the right information. I want to get the right shots. I want to get quality like weather footage. And
sure.
I don't want to let them down.
Sure.
And then I'll post something like, I don't know. Like I used to bust ass on these edits. Like I would stay up to 3 a.m. making graphics from scratch, like trying to like make it this great thing, and then the next day I realize, oh, no one cares about the storm the next day, so I need to make this simpler. That led to like just editing on my phone and putting it out
in real time.
Yeah, I ASAP. And to me, I'm like, oh man, this is lazy. Like I want to do more. I want to have like this and this. But if I bring it down to a simple level, more people can grab onto it. I guess.
Sure.
At least that's how I view it. But yeah, I rambled there. But a lot of these gigs, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but then there's times where I'm like, man, did they like it? Like there's always.
I mean, have you ever had anybody that says they didn't? Have you ever had someone that, I mean, as a creator, I get all the time, for a decade, people on my YouTube channel or my Instagram stories that give me shit for, they're like, oh, that's lame. Oh, you're copying someone. Oh, your hair makes you look like a fucking idiot. Just all kinds of things people have come at me. I don't care.
Right.
But that sort of stuff has never detoured me or stolen my ability to look at a piece of content or something I want to create and be like, I don't think I'm good enough. It almost motivates me in a way. Right. It's almost antithetical to imposter syndrome. So why do you think you gravitate more towards I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I'll be good enough, I don't know if they'll like it, in spite of the fact that everything and everyone in your resume says otherwise?
Yeah, I think it's, a lot of anxiety of it. Just the you just make up this thing in your mind, like this is how it could go. This is how they could see it, and then you kind of, it's almost easier to fall into that space than it is like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for like damn near. If I really want to tie it back, like 15 years, I know better. Like, I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I've taught myself this whole thing. I've never gone to school for it really. But, like, I don't know, there's times where it's just like, I just hope they dig it. Like, I hope they like that.
I think we all, as creators, that goes through our head. I hope they like it.
Yeah.
But that's more so I hope they like it via the vision that I have, and more in the storytelling than any sort of like technical aspect. Like, I'm never like, I hope they like it because I'm not sure about like the way I edited this or the graininess in the film or the picture or something, or I'm more so I hope they like it and they understand where I'm coming from as far as my artistic vision. Is that maybe something that's getting lost in translation with like inside your head?
I think sometimes, I think that's kind of like, because I always like to meet with my clients or the people I'm shooting for, and like have a coffee or a beer, and like so they at least know what I'm about. They know how I'm going at it and attacking the situation or how I'm thinking about it. But it's kind of, sometimes it's tough. Like, I just realized at the end of the day, people love seeing themselves.
Yeah.
Especially with the wedding photography and stuff. Like, in my mind, I'll be like, oh man, I really should have done this better. I missed this moment, this and that. But like, at the end of the day, like, the plan is 30 years from now for a wedding video for them to see that and still remember it and love it. Or the photos to be like, oh yeah, like, that's me at my best, And I'm too busy thinking about, oh man, like I don't have the best equipment, like, oh, they're not gonna dig this. I don't have I don't have a whole rig, like whatever. But I think that'll always be there. It took me 15 years to finally be at a place where I'm comfortable to a point. But there's so much time where I was just,
well, there's a lot of trials and tribulations. There's a lot of testing out different personalities and suits, and I think there's this default setting when you first start out doing something that you kind of fall back to because it's comfortable and it's familiar, as you're trying to fight against this person and this vision, this creative outlet that you really want for yourself, and all these hats that you want to try on, metaphorically and artistically, and I think it's hard to sort of trust yourself and bet on yourself that like you are good enough. You are. Right. I am good enough. I am smart enough. And gosh darn people like me. And that you're going to be able to figure out how to do something or create something. And it's interesting when people experience the opposite of that, because I feel like it could mentally handcuff you. In ways. Do you ever feel like it's a deterrent, or is it maybe psychologically a motivator? Like, do you do this to sort of motivate yourself? Like, I don't know if I can do this, blah 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 blah, and then you're like, fuck that, watch me do it.
Yeah. There's been a lot more of that lately, where it's like, challenge yourself, get over this hump, like get over this thing, like, because once you're in it, it's a zone. Everyone knows. I hope everyone knows about the zone. Once you're in the zone, you're locked in. It's a flow state, and once you can tap into that, you're good. And for me, it's like, just get out there and do it, because that flow state's going to be there. And once I can tap into that, I'm fine. I'm swimming good.
100%.
But sometimes obviously we all have the days where we wake up and we're like, oh, not today, not today. But then you push through and you do it. Like, I had a shoot yesterday that was kind of, I just got back from Utah, so I've been kind of getting back to reality. And I had a photo shoot, really laid back shoot, bunch of good people there, but like going throughout the whole day, it's just like, oh man, I'm not gonna. Oh, this is gonna blow. I don't know if oh man, the questions, and then it all worked out fine. It was great. Like,
sure.
Everyone there was great. The photo shoot went great. It went by like that. But I think it's kind of like just an average. It's a normal thing now to where I know I'll be fine once I'm in it. But before that, the anxiety or the overthinking before it, just it's like I don't know, like a weight on my ankles.
Absolutely, I get it. I get it. I mean, I could, as I was preparing for this new season, because season 3 was a year and a half ago, so I haven't opened up my audio app, I haven't set up the mics, I haven't put the pop filters on, I haven't recorded anything in a year and a half. And 2 days ago I fired everything up, and I was thinking, this is a point where like imposter syndrome could kick in. Like, can I really do this podcast? I haven't done it in a while. Do I remember? Can I still be witty? Can I still turn it on?
Yep.
And turn that voice on and get those gears moving in my head where in real time I can think and talk and execute and ask questions and all that shit. And for me, that was a real bifurcation between people who have imposter syndrome and people who sort of don't like me, because I was like, fuck yeah, I can do it. I've made like 80 episodes. Like it'll take me 5 minutes to figure out how to do this all again, and then I'll kill it. And it's interesting talking to different people who approach, whether it's work or relationships or anything, with a cynical or pessimistic approach versus a hopeful and optimistic approach. So I guess my question to you is, do you consider yourself more cynical, more pessimistic, or more hopeful, more optimistic, glass half full versus glass half empty kind of person?
Yeah, I try to be optimistic as much as possible, but then there's a side of me where I can get really I can get cynical. Mm-hmm. Like I think my years in the service industry just jarred me.
I bet.
It turned me into this I don't know, this judgmental, how could you? What's wrong with you?
But that's natural.
That's normal, yeah. Just 10 years of that just beats down on you for a while.
Oh, for sure. The compounding interest of a career like that can do big time damage. Do you think that's sort of the not the crux of your imposter syndrome, but at least one of myriad catalysts?
Yeah, it's a big part of it, because I did time. I did my time on the front lines.
You were in prison?
Well, I wouldn't say prison, but the front lines of the service industry, man.
So prison.
I think here, I'm gonna just say this. I think it should be mandatory by law that everyone works in the service industry for at least a semester of college or high school. I don't want to run for mayor here, but it would create jobs. It would boost up the service industry again. These restaurants would have people working anyway. I'm just
the skill set in the way that you treat people.
Yeah,
I would assume gives you sort of a vessel and an outlet to understand how people feel and how people want to be treated, and allow you to treat people the way that you'd want to be treated. 100%. Very Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, very very Mr. Rogers. I think we need more Mr. Rogers vibes in this world more than ever. But that time I spent doing that, and then the couple times I dropped out of college actually were I think those were reinforcers of oh man, I didn't do this. I'm not up on this level. There's so many people that did this and they made it look easy. Why couldn't I do it?
Sure.
Why am I in the woods instead of the river? Am I better off? In my heart of hearts, I know I'm happy with where I'm at now. But there was times where it's oh man, I'm a lesser because of this, because everyone's already a mile ahead of me.
Gotcha.
Then you realize, everyone's got their own race to run. What am I comparing so much for? I mean, I think it's like you said, it's natural to do that. But all those times, all those experiences kind of put me in a headlock to where I do think, oh man, I got so much more I have to catch up on.
Yeah.
There's so much more I still got to do. And that kind of keeps me in this space of okay, am I good enough? I think now I'm, like I said, I think I was telling you before, I'm in a more clear space on the mountain of life where I can see better now. But there's a lot of foggy times in the recent past, and then way back when I was younger 20s.
For sure.
To where I'm oh man, everyone's graduating, and I'm dropped out. Like I went to the graduation for all my friends in college just to be there because I want like they were all my buddies and I brought my camera and I was shooting photos and all that. And they're like they graduated. They're walking back to leave and they see me and they're like, "Oh man, so sorry." You know, I'm not dead. Like I didn't I'm not dead. Like I'm still here. Like I'm still alive. And then that just led to a place now where I'm like, it was a long journey.
Sure, for sure. How do you think like race or gender or status affects how people experience imposter syndrome? Because there's definitely people who may be more disadvantaged or there may be like experience prejudice where the compounding interest of imposter syndrome really starts to ramp up. Yeah,
I witnessed a lot of that in I went to Milwaukee Public Schools, so there was a lot of I saw it firsthand, you know, like.
So I would imagine as a woman, I mean, talking to my wife, she suffers from imposter syndrome, and she says, you know, as a woman, everything I have to do twice as good. I have to be twice as loud. I have to be twice as early.
That's true.
And then if you already have imposter syndrome, that just makes it worse.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Yeah, it's just like extra weights on your ankles trying to swim.
For sure.
I can only imagine. And you think that in 2025 we would be in a place where it wasn't like that.
Right.
But we're still so far behind on just so many levels when it comes to, you know, women in the workplace, women out there in the world trying to do it, people of different ethnicities, and it's a bummer that we're still in that spot.
Right.
I can't believe it, actually. Like, we should be so much further along.
I agree. We are fortunate that we at least have made progress,
there's steps.
But I feel like we should be much farther along than we currently are.
They're putting robots on Mars, but we can't figure out how to
pay women the same as men, and you know, no, I 100%.
Yeah.
So have you ever had to like fake confidence in a meeting or a project or something to get it? Has there been like something that like you wanted to do or a job that you wanted to take or try and get through, and you had to sort of fake it till you made it kind of thing?
Oh yeah. I think that's where I learned how to kind of. I mean, and a lot of that I learned through the service industry too. There's been a few meetings with clients where I'm like, yeah, I know, I deep down I know I can do it, but the doubts creep in, like they just crawl up on your shoulder. And I'm like, are you sure? I don't know. You don't have this camera. You can't take this shot. What are you gonna do? You don't have the amount of money to do this.
Sure.
But there's been a few times where, like, there was a trip down to Kentucky I did with a restaurant group here and some good friends from a different podcast, the Experienced Milwaukee guys.
Yes.
And we went down to Kentucky and did this whole thing with like a bourbon barrel pick and all this stuff.
Ooh, let's go.
It was unreal, and I never even had. It was a trip, dude.
Kidding.
That was a trip. They poured it right out of the spout like it came from God.
Yeah, it's like when you go to Colorado and Coors Light's flowing from the rivers.
yeah. As is tradition.
That's not true, but
I wish it was. I'd be out there.
Right.
But that whole experience was like a quick 2-day turnaround thing, and it was so fun to kind of be down there and do that. But the whole leading up to it, I'm like, all right, like, I know I can do this. I think, right? I hope I can do this right, and they're proud of it. And that was one of those situations where, like, I don't even know if they posted the video I made. And that's another thing that kills me is like when a client doesn't get back to me about if they like it or not, or if like.
Yeah, because you want that validation. You want to know.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. How do you take and absorb criticism? If someone, let's say a client says, I don't like that. Or let's say someone you respect and you know, like me, oh, maybe you don't respect me.
No, I do.
But let's say I was like, hey, dude, like, I think you could have done this a little differently or a little better. What do you do?
Yeah.
One, have you ever had someone approach you with that or had those feelings? And then two, how do you, as just Eric, use that?
Yeah.
And process that?
Early, I feel like I'm fortunate that it happened to me early on, and it was in the wedding realm. It was, I think it was a year out of when I dropped out of college for the first time. I was doing wedding video stuff for friends, and this one time, this guy's like, hey, I'll do audio, I'll do the mics, we'll have a second shooter for you. We're gonna do this wedding out in West Bend. It's at a golf course. I'm like, cool. This is the future. This is cool. I get a team.
Sure.
Because I'm used to doing it on my own. So I go out there, get all the way out to West Bend. The second camera guy shows up without a camera, and he's like, oh, I thought you were bringing my camera. I'm like, nope. And he had to go back to Milwaukee to rent a camera, so he's gone. And I'm like, yeah, it's all good. I got this. You got the audio guy? The audio guy, for Pete's sake. We're good. We're gold. we're at this golf course, and there's like a patio, and there's like mini waterfalls going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, no, we got an audio guy. We're good. And there's like people teeing off in the background, and all you can hear on my camera is like just people golfing, the waterfalls, and as their music is playing and this ride's coming out, and I'm like, oh, we're good. We got the audio guy. And then during the vows, the mics go out, and
that's not ideal.
I'm like, yeah, I can't. This isn't real. Like I had one of those out of body moments where I'm like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why did I say yes to this?
Sure.
So I run up to the front, trying not to trip over the grandma in the front row, trying to get this audio of them spilling their hearts out to each other. And these two people I do not know. This is the first wedding where I'm like, I just want to make sure I do the basics right. And so I do what I can. I get as best audio as I can, and we head out to go to get the reception shots. And there's a little break in between. The second camera guy comes back, and he has a camera. And he's like, hey, just a heads up, I have nerve damage in my hands, so it might be a little shaky. And I laughed thinking he was riffing. He was not riffing. He was not joking. A lot of his footage was, you couldn't stabilize it if you tried. And it was all handheld, so I'm like, oh man, this is brutal. So I'm trying to save this thing in editing as best I can. And fast forward to October, it's about 3 months after the wedding. Turns out they were alumni at the college, the first college I dropped out of, down in Kenosha at Carthage. And once a year, Carthage does this homecoming thing in October where it's the one day a year they allow alcohol on campus. And it's like this big football game, tailgate. Everyone's there early in the morning.
No one gets drunk.
Everyone gets drunk, dude. Everyone and their mother gets drunk. It's a trip. And I didn't even graduate, but I still would go to them because, you know, my friends are still there. I go down there. So I'm in there at 10 in the morning. We're hanging out, and I hear this yelling, like, behind me across the parking lot. And it gets closer. And I'm like, damn, someone's really having a morning of it. And then I look around, and it's the bride from the wedding. And she's being held back by, like, her husband and 4 other people. She's, like, cussing me out. She's like, where the hell is my wedding video? Like, I can't believe I don't have it yet. What the hell? And I'm like, I'm the one trying to save it. Like, I'm the one trying to save it. And she's just, like, she's crying. I'm like, whoa. And this is, like, a year into, like, this new world. Like, a year into it. And I'm like, it was the worst experience. Like, we tried to fix the video. Like, we had a professional fix the audio.
Yeah.
And I never heard back. The guy who set all this up, the audio guy, he ended up being on Channel 58, like,
really,
a year later for not paying anybody or something, like scamming these weddings, like not getting photos out, like really horrific.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know exactly who you're
talking
about.
Never paid me, like, even though I'm like trying to save this damn thing.
Yeah.
And dealing with her at this event just was like gnarly. But I'm grateful I had that experience early on, because I realized, okay, if I work with other people, I mean, this is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But if I do it on my own,
you have all the control.
I'll take the blame,
the glory, and the blame.
Yep, I'll do it.
The buck stops with you.
100%.
And your success and your clients' happiness or disdain for whatever you created is predicated only on you, your ability, your skills, and your circumstance.
And that's learning. That's trial by fire, if I've ever heard it. Like, that's how
big time.
That's
big
how
time.
I learned the hard way, as I always tell
failure is our biggest teacher.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Yoda said that in one of the Star Wars movies.
Bless Yoda.
Let's. I just want to flip the script, you know, here as we start closing out this episode, and kind of take a more positive approach to this. You know, are there any daily habits that help you fight imposter syndrome when those feelings come up, when someone wants to hire you for something, or it's day of job and you're like, oh shit, I don't know if I can do this? You know, are there any tools in your mental toolbox that you use to sort of fight that and push through it?
Yeah, I mean, music to me is a big part of, like, my day to day. If I can have music playing in the background, even if I'm editing something or I'm getting ready or I'm starting the day, if I got music going,
sure,
like, that just sets the tone and gets me in the right mindset for the most part.
Do you feel like a big confidence boost?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, depending on the type of music too. Like, I'm a big punk rock
Let's
fan.
go.
Or just, I used to listen to, like, movie score music back in college. I would just vibe out with that and just put myself in a zone.
Some John Williams or some.
Yeah, just dude. There was with the Adjustment Bureau. I remember that movie.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
Had a great soundtrack too.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, dude, unreal movie. No one talks about that movie.
You pop on a little Hans Zimmer and just.
Oh, yeah, Hans Zimmer, a little bit of that, and if I'm just punk rock otherwise, or whatever, music, and then double espresso as that routine. Like, it's just like a ritual thing.
Yeah.
Having a double espresso, being around people. I love just being around. If I'm at a coffee shop or wherever, it wakes me up. It gets me in the zone. helps me push through that initial like anxiety or that initial like double thinking or wondering, today might suck, or it's like automatic right in the swamp. And it's like, no, I gotta get out in the sun. Let's go, come on. But yeah, music is a big thing, and just kind of, I don't know, just trying to breathe fresh air and drink a double espresso and just get the body moving if I can, which is hard nowadays because I have arthritis and gout. So it's like if I can't get out and about, I get stuck on the couch, and then you're in the swamp.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like you got to get back to the campsite and keep the fire lit.
100%.
Yeah, it's usually just kind of simple as that for me.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. Some days are better than others, but it's always just try to set that tone early.
Yeah.
Because then that momentum can carry you throughout the day, whether it's challenging or not.
Big time. Do you ever think imposter syndrome is a motivator, or can it be maybe if it's not for you but for someone? Like, is there any way or world or scenario where it can be a motivator for someone?
Yeah.
Where initially you have these thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do it, I don't have the things. Yeah. And then those sorts of negative feelings sort of change and develop into a self-motivation tool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where you're like, fuck that, I can do it. Watch me prove myself and everybody.
That's a big part of it. Like just look at me do this. I did it anyway. Even to myself, like it's easy. We got this. We got this. You know, like the Bert Lauderdale thing came out of that actually, because like I needed an outlet that would help me both express and create, and I didn't have that for a while because I used to want to be a pro wrestler. I have to drop this in late, but I wanted to be a pro wrestler growing up, and like I did it for a while. I had a couple matches. I think my first match was at On the Border strip club when I was like 15 during a snowstorm, and then I ran a backyard wrestling thing with a ring. I used to own it, and it was like a business at like 15 to 19 years old. And that's a huge outlet to have at that age. It's such a weird, wild outlet.
For sure.
And it taught me so much in that 4 or 5 years I was doing it. But physically, it took a toll. Had a couple concussions, at least that I know of. And just it was stressful, but it was that outlet. And so once that ended, I went to college for a couple of years. I'm like, this isn't it. This isn't the same. Like I'm not. Like I know I should be doing something else. I need to be doing something else. Left college, did the service industry. I could never find that feeling. Mm-hmm. Like I'm chasing what that felt like to be in it sounds goofy, but to be in a wrestling ring, like to be on stage, like there's nothing else I've ever felt like it. Sure. Even if it was in front of 12 people at a strip club in a snowstorm, there's still something there that like you have to tap into it, and it's hard to find that again. Mm-hmm. So the Bert Lauderdale thing was like an offshoot of that to like fill that void a little bit.
Gotcha. Becoming
an outlet, I could be the character. I could tap into it. Chasing storms felt like the closest thing to being in a wrestling match in front of people, and out of that, like that just became the outlet to be like, okay, if I'm not feeling creative, if I'm not like, you get in those slumps once in a while where
it was a place for you to ensconce yourself in and sort of break away from whatever creative slump you were in, or maybe a depression or something you were in, and just 100%. sort of back out and zoom out and be like, all right, we'll put Eric on the shelf for a second. Bert Lauderdale's coming out, and you can kind of put this hat on and become an alternate version of yourself.
Yeah, dial it up.
Exactly, and one that gives you maybe a little more freedom, mentally, a lot more creatively, and physically to sort of just do something that makes you happy and
let's loose a little bit. There's no ties to anything else. I can
totally
do whatever. And like right now, if a storm happened, I would be like, hey man,
you know what? Gotta go. Fun podcast, but I gotta bounce.
I gotta get in the telephone booth and spin around real quick and Clark Kent this shit.
I can totally empathize with that, because that's how I feel when I do the vlog. Mm-hmm. I feel very, very alive. Yep. When I'm holding a camera and talking into it. I can be a version of myself that I personally see, but I think sometimes unless you're watching a video of me and you catch me in real time in the real world, you may not see or observe. And I love when I get to go to that place. I don't always want to be in that place and be on and be entertaining and telling stories and be that thing for other people. But I do find myself habitually gravitating towards that. It's why I do Instagram stories every day, and so much like Bert Lauderdale, sometimes when you're in those creative slumps or those imposter syndrome slumps, visiting those places where you feel like you just thrive helps you get out of that, or even just rewatching old content that you've made in being a lot of people always ask me, well, how do you get out of creative slumps? I find inspiration in my own work and the things that I do. Fuck it. Why would I watch someone else's thing and find jealousy over that or whatever, like, when I can get that same experience from my own stuff and be like, fuck, that vlog was good, man, that was a great podcast. That's
so true. I've done it. I actually this year I have to still do it for some reason, but I've done this thing every year for the last 11 years, 10 years, where I take all the footage I have from all my cameras and make a memory box out of it.
Love it.
So I have a highlight reel of that year every year, and it's raw. Like, there's ex-girlfriends in it, there's friends that aren't still here anymore, but every year towards the end of the year I start editing around like December, and I'll get it out hopefully by New Year's. But it always reminds me, look how far I've come. Like,
yes.
I did that, like my friends did that. Like, it's doable, it's there, it's attainable. It's not that far off, it's not that far away.
Sure.
So that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I love that, dude. I love that. All right, 2 more questions.
Yeah.
One, what does life look like when and or if imposter syndrome no longer has a grip on you? Do you see a time in your life in the future where you no longer really have those feelings? Is there a certain success mark or bar that you've set for yourself? Is there a certain amount of money that you'd have to make? Is there a certain amount of notoriety or followers or whatever the metric is?
Yeah.
Is there something you think that would sort of pluck you from that imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I think there's. I'm trying to get better about money. Like, I've always sucked at like charging clients what I probably should be charging them. Like, I really undersell I always undersell, over deliver. That's kind of been my.
And that's a good thing.
And it's good, but then there's times where people ask me, hey, how much do you charge for that event? And I'm like, I try not to talk about money too much, but I'll tell them like, oh, dude, that's it? And I'm like, what do you mean that's it? Yeah. Like, what the hell? What should I don't want to charge an ass load and then get told
not
no.
deliver.
Yeah, or not deliver, or get told no, or I think I try to stay in that there's that little sweet spot, like like Indiana Jones bridge you gotta walk somewhere.
Yes.
Which I think we all envision.
Yeah.
But I think there's one day where I'm in a comfortable space, charging the right amount and making my everyone wins thing. Yeah. And if I can travel more, if I can get gigs traveling, I think I'll feel like I'm in a good place.
So people like your work and want you enough. They're willing to not only pay you for the job, but then pay you to get there.
Yeah. There's been a few times I got a taste of it where I'm like, oh man,
great.
There's a world like that, And I have friends that do that all the time, and I'm rooting for them, and I can just only imagine how cool that would be.
It is. I mean, I remember with the first wedding that I got to shoot, like, not in Wisconsin. I shot weddings in Vegas and New Orleans and Mexico, and it's like, man, people really want me that bad.
That's a good feeling.
You're not gonna screw finding a photographer in New Orleans. Like, we want to pay you more money to come out here. Like, it's a great feeling. It's very validating.
That's a good word.
And I think those are the sorts of things that, as those experiences happen and as that validation happens, you're like, no, I am fucking cat's ass.
Yeah.
I am good at what I do.
Yeah,
I can charge $5,000 for this way. Fuck, I'm gonna charge $6,000 because I'm gonna do it better than that company down the street that charges $10,000.
And give them something they can be proud of, and then you can be proud of. It's a win-win. Like, I always go back to the metaphor of like keeping your fire lit at your campsite.
Yes.
Like, sometimes other people put logs on your fire. I think that's what that kind of feels like when you get a validation from like, we do want you to come do this thing.
Sure.
And so when other people are putting logs on your fire, man, it's pretty sweet.
Right.
It's a good campsite you got going there.
All right, final question.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of about yourself? Whether it's a moment or a piece of content that you created or the outcome of some journey you were on or whatever it is there something that, like, anytime you self-reflect, you're just like, man, I'm so fucking proud of myself for that? I know that's a big time on the spot.
No, it's good though.
Question, but I mean, is there anything that you're so proud of? And it can be the dumbest thing or the biggest thing. There's no wrong answer.
There's I don't know. It's pretty heavy. There's a couple things I'm thinking of right now, according on that same level. I'm proud of just the friendships I've had, the people I've met. Like, I put a lot of effort into just connecting and really making it like authentic and real. Like, I don't want to just have someone I'm doing a video for and then, you know, it always sucks and, you know, never talk to them again. I want to catch up. I want to know how they're doing. Or
build a relationship.
Yeah, I want real relationships. I pride myself on really knowing, and them knowing who I am too at the same time. But I'll go back to the pro wrestling stuff when I was in high school. There was a moment that really altered kind of where my trajectory was going, even if it wasn't with the pro wrestling thing, because Lord knows my body would be broken by now if I kept up with that.
They got exoskeletons for that.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm hoping that stuff's gonna be cheap.
I watch
in
enough YouTube
years.
To see.
If I can get some.
You ever seen Elysium?
Yeah,
yeah. They got that. That
right.
stuff exists.
Well, that's coming up, right? I hope it's at Walgreens soon, so I can get involved in it. I don't know if my healthcare will cover, but
Medicaid,
yeah, we got that still around. But there's a moment I had. It was like 2007. I'll never forget it. We did like a backyard wrestling show, and there's like 12 or 20 people there, and we always had people from all around the city. There's suburban people, like, you know, high school friends, city friends, south side, whatever, all in the yard at one time. But there's a guy who came in that started trying to join. We had like 20 different guys. I had to make sure we were on time and everything. And this one guy was newer, and him and his brothers came in. They were just really enthusiastic. They loved being there, and you could tell they were having a good time. And we had so many people, it was hard to get them on the shows and stuff. But they put forth effort. They helped set up the ring and all that. And one day after the show, we did this whole show. It was kind of cold out in April. And I'm like about ready to do my math homework because I had a big test the next day or something. Mm-hmm. And I get a phone call, and it's from one of the new guys. And I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? He's like, hey, thank you so much for the opportunity. Like, and at the time, I'm 17, by the way, and this guy's probably in his mid-20s. He's like, thank you so much for the opportunity. Like, this means the world to me. And, like, I don't know. I just want you to know it means a lot. I'm like, dude, no problem, dude. Come by anytime. Not a big deal. You know, I'm like, as I'm like looking through this book for math, you know, one of those stupid math books. Yeah. And he's like, no, man, seriously, like, I'm homeless, and this is all I have to look forward to. And I'm like, oh, shit. I remember closing the math book and being like, dude, yeah, come by any time. Like, it's not, like, holy crap. And he's like, yeah, I was going to, like, kill myself, like, recently. And this, because we found your backyard wrestling thing. Wow. It changed, like, he's like, I'm so hopeful. Like, I want to do this. And I'm like, dude. It just, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Sure. Like, and I hope he's good till this day. I haven't really kept up with a lot of people from the wrestling days. But that opened my brain up to like, oh, you can help other people, still doing what you want to do, and create these connections, doing what, it doesn't have to be a specific thing. And that's, I don't know. That's
it can be very altruistic.
Yeah. Yeah, and it changed everything for me, I think, at that point. It took me years to kind of realize that. Mm-hmm. Like, but looking back at a moment like that or, like, whatever, shaped kind of where I'm at now. But I'm really proud of that, and glad I could open up a world for people in that time to, like, feel free and feel good and get out of a dark place, you know? Like, getting someone out of the swamp mm-hmm. and back to the campsite for the fire, back to the metaphor, like, I love doing that. Like, Absolutely. If I can create something to get people out of the swamp, I'll be the lifeguard. Let's go. Sure. Let's do it. But yeah, that was definitely something I'm proud of for sure.
Dude, I love that. You know what? Let's end on that note.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Eric, man, I really appreciate you blessing this show with the first episode of season 4. Oh, I'm glad I could get you on. I appreciate you taking the time to come here. Where can people find you?
Anytime, man. Instagram, Eric Halvie, EricHalvie. That'll be like my photography page. Bert Lauderdale is, I guess, my other one. Bert with an E, like Lauderdale, Bert Lauderdale. Or if you look up hashtag Bert Alert, you should be able to find me yelling about the weather somewhere or getting chased by storms. Yeah, it's probably the best spot to find me.
Because the listeners, you have 30 seconds, because the listeners are going to ask, where did Bert Lauderdale come from?
Years ago, my buddy, I was doing a thing called Whether You Like It or Not, still kind of doing it. He's like, you need a name. I was hopped up on quadruple espressos, bar backing, and I'm thinking about Johnny Knoxville, a hero of mine. I'm like, man, I need a name. We're coming up with names. I'm like, Bert Lauderdale. And he's like, dude, that's it. You
just roll right off the tongue.
Well, there was a few other ones that like terrible. I'm not even going to mention them. But that one definitely stuck, and I've been ever since.
I love it. There. Well, hey, Bert Lauderdale. Yeah. Thanks for coming on the episode, talking about Imposter soon, and much appreciated. I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon. Anyways.
Anytime, man. It's good to see you as always.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.